Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and more specifically, we're going to zoom in here and look at a little 10% bounce that Bitcoin has put into motion here over the last 24 hours or so. As you can see, Bitcoin rallied from a recent low, really exactly where we put our support level yesterday, at around $7,750, all the way up to a recent high of around $8,540. From there, Bitcoin has had a little bit of a pullback, and we're actually falling in today's video, but I want to go ahead and dive into this bounce and what this means for Bitcoin, and I also want to talk about some important support levels that Bitcoin is finding itself hovering above on the longer term charts. We have not talked about this one in particular, and it's really powerful. I want you guys to know about it, so we're going to dive into that later on in the video as well. We also need to briefly touch on a news story coming out of Coinbase and Bittrex and Circle and Kraken and a lot of other big names in the cryptocurrency space, because they've all come together to create kind of a coalition and a council called the Crypto Ratings Council, which will give a rating to different cryptocurrencies and different projects on whether or not they are securities or not. This is a really interesting development for the cryptocurrency space for several reasons. We're going to talk about this later. This is something you definitely need to be aware of because it's going to impact the regulatory landscape and the future of the regulatory landscape for cryptocurrency. And to wrap out the video for today, guys, we're going to talk about John McAfee again because he is doubling down on his $1 million Bitcoin in 2020 prediction. I think he's absolutely crazy. I think you guys probably agree with me, so we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. Of course, John McAfee means the best for Bitcoin. It's just a little out there to think that Bitcoin's going to 7 figs next year. Anyway, guys, we have a lot to get to in today's video. I do hope you guys do enjoy today's video. If you do, smash that like button down below. It really helps out the channel when you do that. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. But not without some coffee first. Cheap coffee spiked with sugar. Can't get much better than that. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and zoom in here to the hourly chart. I want to talk about this because, as you guys know, Bitcoin has kind of fallen off the metaphorical cliff in the last week or so. Pulled all the way down to $7,750. We've already talked about all that. I'm not going to repeat myself. One thing I do want to point out, though, is that Bitcoin was in a descending triangle pattern as of yesterday. A lot of people were talking about this. A lot of people were expecting this to break to the downside. I personally was leaning ever so slightly bearish. I'm talking about like 52% bearish on this, maybe 48% bullish. And instead of doing that, Bitcoin actually broke to the upside, which is a good thing. When Bitcoin goes into a bear pennant right here, as it did, and not only is it a bear pennant, it's a bear descending triangle pennant, you would normally expect for Bitcoin to break bearish. Luckily, a lot of the support that Bitcoin is sitting above managed to hold it. We talked about in yesterday's video, which you can watch in the top right, and I encourage you to do so. We talked about $7,758 and why that's such an important support level, and as you can see, after we made that video, Bitcoin bounced there, and Bitcoin did bounce and continue rallying higher. We broke bullish out of that. That's a really good sign, and that might have something to do with what we talked about in yesterday's video, which was a regular exaggerated bullish RSI divergence. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I had to pull up a cheat sheet real quick. Even technical analysis experts can't remember every single type of exaggerated divergence. Either way, when you have two lows that are the same, a double bottom on price action, and you have an uptrend down here on the RSI, that is called regular bullish exaggerated RSI divergence, and that is typically bullish, and that was calling for a little bit of a rally right here. In fact, that's what we saw, and we broke bullish out of that bearish pennant, which is a good thing. And one more thing to point out, guys, is that since Bitcoin crashed so significantly, that drove MACD absolutely into the ground, guys. And the last 4 days have seen that the MACD has started to converge bullish on itself, and in fact, in about 3 days, we're probably going to be expecting a bullish cross on the MACD. If we were to see that, that would be a really good thing because we've not seen one in a while, and it could come just in time to give us the bullish buying pressure that we need to continue higher and allow this bounce to do even more than it already has. One more thing I do want to mention while we're out here on the daily chart before I show you some stuff on the weekly is our daily RSI. As you guys can see, recently Bitcoin fell below the 30 level on the RSI. That's happened over the last week or so. And as you guys can probably see, that's only happened one other time in the last several years. The last time that we went down there for any period of time was in 2016. The last time we came down here to below 30, that was at the very, very, very bottom back over here when Bitcoin pulled all the way down to $3,000, was massively oversold, and a bull market kicked off from there. So keep that in mind. The last time we put this kind of market structure in motion where we had Bitcoin go below 30 level on the RSI on the daily chart, that was the beginning of the accumulation phase, which we might be going into now, a beginning of a reaccumulation phase, and not long after that, a bull market kicked off. Keep that in mind, guys. It's something you're going to want to keep an eye on. But with that, guys, we get on to the weekly chart, and the weekly chart is a mixed bag right now. It's certainly not all sunshine and rainbows, because if we look down on the RSI, if you guys have watched my channel or many of the other channels on cryptocurrency technical analysis for a while, you've probably seen this level right here. As you can see, during the bull market, Bitcoin never really goes below this level of support on the RSI. Even going back into the bull market before, back in 2012 and 2013, Bitcoin didn't really do that for very long. But as we can see over here, Bitcoin has just done that right there. And that, combined with the fact that Bitcoin has briefly gone below the 200 daily simple moving average, is leading me to believe that the phase that we're in on Bitcoin right now is not actually the actual bull market going up here. It's actually this this little blip that started the bull market, and our rally that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 months is just a major development larger than what we saw down here. And what that might mean is that we may have to come back down to some of these levels of support, such as the 200 weekly simple moving average down here, or maybe $6,000, get a bounce, and then move higher, as some other analysts like Alessio have talked about. Because if we look back in history here, guys, that's exactly what happened. Bitcoin rallied, fell back down to the 200 moving average on the weekly chart, and started the bull market from there and never once went back down to touch it. I would personally be completely okay if that's what happened. It would mean that the bull market would be delayed by about 6 months, but that's okay. The halving is going to happen next year. That's what this vertical line is right there. That's around the halving. If Bitcoin were to pull back down here and then start rallying right around the time we hit the halving, guys, we'd see Bitcoin in a new bull market, and it would cause a massive rally, or at least the hype would. The halving itself wouldn't, and something major could happen from there. Either way, tell me in the comment section down below if you'd like to see a full video with detailed analysis on why we may still be in this phase of the bull market rather than in this one, because I think it's going to have important ramifications for which direction Bitcoin moves here over the next couple of weeks. But guys, that leads us to what I put in the title, which is the level of support that no one's really looking at, and it would of course be the 100 weekly simple moving average. The 200 weekly simple moving average is very important, but so too is the 100 weekly. Check this out, guys. Look at where Bitcoin is getting support right now. Perfectly, absolutely perfectly on this level. And I know some people like Carl from the Moon, shout out to him, they're looking at the EMA ribbons, for example. Bitcoin's falling down to that. Other people are looking at Fibonacci levels. Other people are looking at VPVR levels. I'm looking at the 100 weekly simple moving average for several reasons. One of the main reasons is because just like the 200 simple moving average on the weekly chart, it is almost invaluable for determining when a bull market is starting, because back over here before the bull market, Bitcoin got support on it, fell below it. That means everything in here was accumulation phase. Then Bitcoin fell down to it and garnered support on it during its reaccumulation phase before moving on to the bull market. So right now, guys, I see there's two scenarios. Either one, Bitcoin does bounce where we are right now and we continue higher because we're bouncing off of historical support like the 100 weekly simple moving average and all of these other support levels we've talked about on the channel. That's one scenario. I'll call that the bullish scenario, the bounce scenario. And the other scenario is that Bitcoin does actually come down here to the 200 weekly simple moving average, and this is called like the worst case scenario. We've talked about this, where Bitcoin falls down, hits the 200 weekly, and then continues to rally higher from there. Tell me in the comment section down below which of these scenarios you think is most likely, and if you'd like a dedicated video on both of them, I am more than happy to do so. But guys, that's the analysis for today. I do hope you guys did get some good value out of that. I do want to see Bitcoin continue to rally here. We're going to keep an eye on that. If anything major happens today, I will try to live stream. My day is relatively open. My schedule is flexible, so if something crazy happens, I will try to live stream it. Anyway, guys, moving right along here, let's go ahead and dive on into this news story. I will be brief because it's something that a lot of you have probably already read, and it's actually not that complicated. Coinbase-led group aims to help crypto firms avoid securities violations. This is also very interesting because if you guys know anything about United States regulation, if a cryptocurrency gets labeled a security, then all of a sudden none of the cryptocurrency exchanges can actually trade that unless they have approval by certain government agencies to allow trading of securities on their exchanges, which is a laborious process that most exchanges don't want to go through. So unless it's like a top 3 cryptocurrency, the exchange probably isn't going to go to the trouble of getting that approval. So it's very important that a cryptocurrency is not a security. I'm not going to get into exactly what a security is right now. A security basically is oftentimes a security comes with either partial ownership in a company or it comes with dividends. In essence, if the company that created the cryptocurrency is centralized, then the cryptocurrency is probably going to be labeled a security, which is one of the reasons why XRP got a 4 or 5 on the scale. Getting ahead of ourselves, let's go ahead and dive into this. Crypto industry leaders are taking the initiative to help firms in the space avoid running afoul of securities rules, which is very important, like we just stated. In a company blog post, Coinbase announced that it co-founded the Crypto Rating Council, a member organization whose purpose is assisting cryptocurrency companies in determining if they comply with current U.S. federal securities law. Now, this is something that the United States government can do with something called the Howey test, which comes from a Supreme Court case way back in the day. That's neither here nor there. The point is that they're trying to figure out what's a security so that these cryptocurrencies will have an idea. This agency, this member organization doesn't actually have any really official power. It's just a rating organization that they're putting together, and it's actually very useful. As part of the effort, the council will issue a 1 to 5 rating for a given cryptocurrency or token's similarity to a security. Under the rating system, a 1 constitutes a crypto asset with few functional similarities to a security, while a 5 would be consistent with the definition of a security. As of now, the council has rated 20 crypto assets, with top cryptocurrencies by market cap, Bitcoin rated as 1. Notably, XRP, Maker, and Polymath, 3 very large cryptocurrencies, especially XRP, landed scores of 4 or 4.5, which I doubt Ripple is happy to hear. The Crypto Rating Council says the rating system, which it stresses is not investment advice, hey, they're saying it too, is based on past SEC guidelines and case law and the legal and technical expertise of the firms making up the group. That's all I'm going to read on this, because you guys can pause the video here and read the rest of this if you want. I don't want to spend too much time on it. The point here is that we're finally seeing an organization that's coming together to decide whether or not a cryptocurrency like this one, XRP, is a security or not, and whether or not others are as well. It's a really important question, one that we definitely need to be taking seriously, because when cryptocurrencies are securities, it vastly changes the way that they can be traded. It changes what regulation the exchanges that are trading them need to be actually complying with. And the last thing we want to do, guys, is have cryptocurrency be on the wrong side of the regulatory landscape in America. Ideally, we'd like cryptocurrency to sail right through all of the regulatory uncertainty that we have right now and see it become a well-established, well-regulated, understood industry that the government is not trying to stop. Because even though cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and all of the other altcoins can survive and thrive in the face of United States government opposition, it would be far easier for us to achieve the goals that we're reaching if the United States was cooperating with us. Anyway, moving on to our last news story here, guys. This one's pretty funny. Permabull John McAfee gives reasons why Bitcoin will hit $1 million in 2020. This is going to be like a 30-second flash news story because I just want to read his 2 quotes. Reason 1. Scarcity. McAfee told the Forbes writer, let's get real, there are only 21 million Bitcoin, 7 million of which have been lost forever, and then if Satoshi is dead, add a few more million, because Satoshi has some of them. So that's number 1 why Bitcoin will go to $1 million in 2020. Reason number 2, I'm just a very conservative man. I said 1 million, and I'm sticking to 1. I love how he says he's conservative, as if Bitcoin multiplying, let's check here, 11,450% is a conservative figure. Those are some amazing reasons, John McAfee. I stand behind you. I'm not personally going to eat my manhood if Bitcoin doesn't do that. You do you, dude. Keep being crazy about Bitcoin. I love your fervor. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's technical analysis. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below if you'd like to see a full dedicated video on both of those scenarios I laid out, a bounce now or a bounce later, whether or not that be the best case, the worst case scenario, however you want to phrase it. I'd love to hear your take on that in the comment section down below. Also, guys, make sure you come and follow me on Twitter. We're getting close to 1,000 followers. The 1,000th follower, I might give like 1 Satoshi or something. Might do a giveaway of like $5, who knows. Guys, I'm having a lot of fun with the channel. I'm really enjoying talking to you guys lately. I'm glad Bitcoin's finally doing something interesting, and I love the community that we're building here. If you guys want to keep the conversation going, there's a Discord server link in the description down below. Love to see your beautiful face over there and have some conversation. Guys, we had like 20 or 30 people join yesterday when I mentioned that. I'm glad to see all of you guys in the server enjoying yourselves. Anyway, guys, now that it is the month of October, I do want to start a new sale on CT2A for you guys. If you use the coupon code October2019, you're going to get $40 off CT2A this month. And as you guys know, when we run these sales, new videos come out in CT2A. I'm going to be working on some new videos for the revamp of the course. I've got a lot of projects going on in the background. There's a new product hopefully going to be launching this month. You guys will hear more about that later. But if you guys want to learn about technical analysis, you want to learn everything you need to know to actually start trading in these markets, investing in these markets, and most importantly, profiting in these markets, the best place to do it is CT2A, guys. We have nearly 900 members in the course, many of which are watching this video right now. Let me tell you something. They never complain to me. I never get complaint emails saying this video sucked or this didn't make any sense. The only thing I get is when someone talks about CT2A, they tell me good things about it. If you don't believe me, join the Discord server down below. Go talk to real people that are in the course. I'd love for you to hear their take on it instead of just mine. If you want to learn everything you need to know about technical analysis instead of spending thousands of dollars, you can spend $159 with the coupon code down below and learn everything you need to know to trade these markets and profit in these markets, whether or not Bitcoin is rallying or falling. That's the best investment that you are ever going to make in this space. So guys, check that out in the link in the description down below. I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel with CT2A, and I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel by watching to the end. It really does help out. As you guys know, running this channel is now a business. I mean, we're registered with the state and everything. There's a lot of things going on, and this business does take money to run. And the way that we're able to fund it is through you awesome, amazing people joining CT2A and learning how to do technical analysis over there. So thank you to our students, thank you to our viewers, and I want to thank you for watching, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tickle the notification bell so you'll be updated every single time a new video goes live. But guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.